Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at Mad World Tarot. Today I have the Lunar Soul Tarot on the tarot table, and we are looking at a story that's been broken by Charlotte Griffiths in the Daily Mail. She's very much a Harry mouthpiece, seems to have socialized with him, grown up in the same social circles, from what I vaguely understand. And anyway, she's telling us about the restructuring of the Montecito household, and it's now going to mimic the royal household. They seem to have gone on a huge hiring spree. They've restructured everything along royal household lines, and this is because Harry is in particular increasingly weary of the negative publicity he and Meghan Markle have attracted, particularly in the UK. And this restructuring is part of his plan to rehabilitate his reputation. Apparently, it's been going on, this plan, for about 9 months. And it was part of his plan to sort of cozy his way back in with the royals, which of course has failed dismally, but this restructuring is part of it, according to Charlotte Griffiths. And Harry is particularly mortified, that's my word, not hers, about the recent polling that shows that he is now one of the lowest regarded royals. I think he's down to 27% likability rate. Meghan is down to 20. And according to Charlotte, this means that Harry has at last conceded that there's nowhere to go but up. Well, I would say, why don't you phone your Uncle Andrew and ask him how about that thought? But Charlotte assures us there is humility there. We're going to check if there really is humility there. And it's time to find a new way of getting his message across. And now I'm quoting, service above oneself is the cornerstone of everything he does. That's what Charlotte Griffiths tells us, and I should imagine that's coming directly from the Spare himself. But in the same article, she tells us that Harry is going to be launching his own as yet undisclosed commercial venture in the next few months. So it's not only Madame, who has her own range of fruit spread and pancake mix and whatever else she's managed to not do very well. The has-been too has his own commercial venture that is going to burst upon us in the next few months. And apparently he has had commercial ideas of his own, which makes one think about that guy from Spotify who told us about that startling idea of Harry's to interview Putin and the late Pope and Elon Musk and various other people about their traumatic childhoods. So I'm hoping that it's going to be a similar kind of nonsensical venture that Harry has cooked up all by himself. We're going to ask about this venture and what it might be and how it might have a service aspect to it. Service above oneself is the cornerstone of everything Harry does. Tell that to the Barker people and so on and so on. But anyway, that's what he thinks. So we're going to have a look at all of this. Of course, there he is. The Hermit has just, with the bright spark, the Hermit, full of brilliant ideas. I think colouring books might be more within his range than, saving the world like Prince William is trying to do. But we're going to see. We're going to see how he feels about this disastrous polling, particularly in the UK, whether humility has finally dawned in him. And we're going to ask about this new commercial venture and how he can square it with putting service above himself. How's that going to go? Fascinated to know. And we're going to ask how this new commercial venture is going to do. And then we're going to ask where it's going to take him. Is it going to take him out into the world, to Africa, for instance, which is why I have this particular tarot deck on the tarot table? Is it going to take him away from Madame, even? Because Madame is busy, stirring her jam in that kitchen, barefoot in her kitchen. Of course, this is just tarot for fun and entertainment, and it is all my opinion and all speculation, but I think, as I say, Charlotte Griffiths, she knows her stuff. She's got a hotline straight to the has-been, I suspect. And we just read energy here, of course, and there is a disclaimer in the box below. And please read it and form your own opinions and get your piggy banks out, because, you know, it might be time to break open the cash. I am reminded of the reading I did yesterday, just by the way, where I asked what the has-been was going to do if there was no Netflix deal for him anymore, and I got the Four of Pentacles hanging on to his cash, and lo and behold, Harry launching his own as yet undisclosed commercial venture. We learned that the next day, so very much intent on hanging on to his cash at the moment. But we have a Four of Swords as our underlying energy for the poor H. Shall we call him H? And that is somebody who's really licking their wounds, and even had to put their skateboard to one side and you know, have a sad moment, a sad and reflective moment, because a Four of Swords is all about having a big think, and a big think about where things went wrong and how you ended up with your reputation in tatters and nobody loving you and nobody wanting to see you, even your friends not telling you that they'd moved. And so you had to go and ring on doorbells up and down the streets of London and nobody was answering, and there was no one there to see you. So that's the Four of Swords energy, of course. Definitely a sad state of affairs in Montecito, and we're reading only on the has-been. There was a whole explanation of how many new staff Meghan had got. Who's paying for this? I would like to know, but that's for another reading. In other words, the next reading. Situation we're dealing with, even more woe. This is the Five of Cups, a tragedy, absolute tragedy, being very preoccupied with what has gone wrong and unable to see that there is still some good in the world. That's the basic gist of the Five of Cups. And this is lying on the carpet sobbing. Lying on the floor, it's not the carpet. Lying on the ground, it's not even floor. And barefoot. That, I know it's giving Meghan vibes, but I think both of them are lying on the ground sobbing. So there is the Five of Cups, the woe and the recrimination and the self-pity, and I'll never have that recipe again kind of an energy. So there we are. Very, very sad, this reading. So sad. So let's see the has-been and how he feels about having lost his popularity almost completely. He's lost as much of his popularity as he has lost of his hair recently. How does he feel about the terrible paling? We've got the Six of Discs. He thinks he can turn this around. There's a bit of a thought leap that's going on here, but often this happens in tarot. Six of Discs is the charity card, Six of Pentacles. And so he thinks that if he dispenses largesse to the multitude, and let's read again, service above oneself is the cornerstone of everything he does. If he dispenses largesse to the vulgar herd, then everything will be fine again. If he just is out there in Birmingham, in Invictus Games, doing his old has-been stuff that he used to do so reliably when the royal family arranged everything for him, then it will be fine. They'll love him again. So he honestly believes this. So I'm not getting devastation, but I have got devastation here. So we'll give him a pass on that. We have got Four of Swords and Five of Cups. Those are indicators of devastation. So there is devastation around and about, but he seems to think that he can fix this if he just goes back to the old has-been, the one that the royal family cultivated, that reputation they cultivated so assiduously. So let us see if he is truly humble, as Charlotte Griffiths assures us he is. There's humility there, she says. Really? Let's see. Allegedly. Oh, we've got the Queen of Swords. That's not a humble energy. Never, never, never. Oh, never. Charlotte. Charlotte, Charlotte, Charlotte. Charlotte's web. Queen of Swords is terribly strategic. She's not humble. She's very calculating, very shrewd, very wise. You can see the old wise old owl there. This is calculated, in my opinion. Of course, I'm just a mere tarot reader, and what do I know? And this is all for fun and entertainment. But the Queen of Swords sharpens her pen and sets to work. She's very articulate. She's very shrewd. She's very strategic. She can come across as quite fair as well. And so Charlotte, sometimes when she's on that panel, which I can't bear to watch because I can't stand any of them anymore, that's a bit harsh. No, I take that back. Richard Eden, I can't bear. That's just my personal opinion. She plays both sides, and he does too. And I'm tired. This is why I expressed such a harsh and unforgiving opinion about that panel. I'm tired of being played for a fool. And these journalists playing both sides, like Liz Jones does also for the Daily Mail. The Daily Mail is very good at playing both sides to rile you up. And they succeeded with me in riling me up clearly. Pick a lane and stay in it. The Queen of Swords is not. So no, there's not even a vague hint of humility in that card, in my opinion. So let's ask about this brilliant new idea that the has-been has had, this commercial idea of his own. Ideas, in fact, plural. He's had more than one. Lying on the carpet there, doing whatever he does, lying on the carpet in that mudslide mansion. Okay, so let's find out what this commercial idea might be. What is it going to be? Oh dear, 9 of discs in reverse. Do you know, I have the strangest idea, because here's a vase and here's flowers. And the Sidleys, I think it's the Sidleys, who had this thought, this theory, quite recently. One of them, can't remember, I think it was Nancy, had an idea that Meghan might be doing a collaboration with that other woman, what's her name? Who's her astrological twin, Meghan Markle's, not Nancy Sidley's, her astrological twin, strangely enough. They look very similar, and sometimes people suspect that they swap out Meghan and put this woman in the photos. Can't remember her. Abigail Spencer. There you go. Meghan's astrological twin, and look quite similar. The flower lady. She's got her little flower business, and there was a theory that Nancy articulated. It was just a theory, a speculation, that Meghan might be going into the flower business with Abigail Spencer. How strange that we get a vase and flowers in reverse. Do you think the has-been is going to become a florist? It's giving me no other thought than that. Perhaps he's taking over her van. I think she's got one of those old combis. We call them combis here in South Africa. I don't know what you call them over there. Those surfer things, or surfers used to have in the 60s and 70s. And perhaps the has-been's going to drive that and sell flowers door to door. And perhaps he was practicing in London, ringing doorbells, and there was actually a van outside with flowers. So, the 9 of discs, in all seriousness now, is about becoming financially independent and abundant, and, you know, living the good life, the high life, because you've done so well all on your own. It's in reverse. This tells me that the has-been does not have ideas of his own that are anyway workable. He might have had ideas, like the Putin thing, but they're not workable. So I'm fascinated to see what this new commercial venture is going to be. The only one that he's currently got is Travelist. We have no idea what that's about. No idea at all. But whatever it is, doesn't bode well. And as I say, I'm not getting hits. I'm not getting actual hits of what it is. I feel a bit like I've been lying on the carpet with a big giant roll up. And I've just sort of come to after that. A weekend of that. This me being snarky, just by the way, for fun and entertainment. So let's see how this is going to serve humanity and put us all above him, as he has proclaimed to Charlotte Griffiths. How's this going to serve humanity? We have the King of Pentacles in reverse. Now that is Harry. And the King of Discs Pentacles on a good day is the business brain. the winner, the one that is the very stable, very affluent, very experienced. That's like a mentor energy. If you're going to set up your own business, you wouldn't listen to Meghan Markle's podcast, for instance. You would try to find a King of Pentacles, but an upright one, not a one in reverse. And you would hope, first of all, that they would dispense pearls of wisdom, and second of all, that they'd write you a huge check. But that King of Pentacles is in reverse. How is he going to serve humanity? My sad answer as a mere tarot reader is he doesn't have a clue. And that is the best that I can do. King of Pentacles, King of Discs, in this particular tarot in reverse, doesn't have a clue. He still thinks that he is the King of Discs, Pentacles in the royal family, and that the minions will make it happen. And then his role is performative. That's what I'm getting from this. No hits, just no hits at all of actual workable ideas. I think as farcical, as random, as ill thought through as Meghan's as ever line of products. Apparently new products are coming. But we've all seen what she's managed to cook up literally so far, and underwhelming, I think, is the general consensus. So let's move on and see how this strangely amorphous business venture is going to do. How is it going to do? It might do brilliantly, of course. How is it going to do? Oh dear. 10 of Swords in reverse. It's going to be a terrible disaster. Can't wait to see. 10 of Swords. You know, when there are disasters in your own life, and you know, I think we all lurch from calamity to calamity in any given day. There's something wrong in our little worlds. Sometimes a big thing, sometimes a small thing. It's quite nice to see that people like the Parkles have their problems too, and that 10 of Swords doesn't bode well. 10 of Swords is ruin and endings and calamity. It's in reverse. It might take a while for that ruin to become obvious because the card is in reverse. On the other hand, it might be an instantaneous ruin and disaster that the likes of which have never been seen before. So let's move on to where this business venture is going to take the has-been. Is it going to take him on journeys far and wide across the world? Is it going to take him away from his loving wife? You can only call him H. Where is it going to take him? And I have the Judgment card. Oh dear. And the Judgment card is criticism and failure and oh dear. Sorry, it's a bit strange. I'm sort of noting the flute that's being played there. I'm learning to play the Oriental flute, and I had a lapse into my musician mode. I'll come back to tarot reader mode. Judgment in reverse. I don't think it's going to take him away in a physical sense of maybe go. I thought maybe he's going to Africa and he's going to do good, and he's going to, you know, there's so many good things you can do and help humanity, as well as maybe making some money on the side, little business venture. Quite easy to do, but that's not a traveling card. That's more of a regret card. That's more of a disaster card. So there might be a bit of a moment in that energy where he realizes even more than allegedly he's realized now that he has messed up spectacularly, because the Judgment card is about awakening, that, you know, the trump sounds, or the flute in this case, and you rise up and you are judged and you have clarity about how your life has gone. It's in reverse. That's a negative judgment. That's if you are open to some sort of insight, then it's a negative insight of, oh no, I've really messed up and I cannot redeem myself, and there is nowhere for me to go. I can't go back. I've messed up. I've burned all my bridges, and oh no, what is going to happen to me? 4 of Swords, 5 of Cups energy. Let's not forget that. We also have the very miserable 10 of Swords on the tarot table, a King of Pentacles in reverse, a 9 of Pentacles in reverse, the Judgment card in reverse. The only thing that's going on here is that he seems to honestly believe right now that if he just shows up and looks like he's doing something charitable, people will forgive everything and hail him as a hero. And the message has been sent out to the Queen of Swords, who has dutifully written it down and conveyed it to us all. I'm not seeing good things in this reading. I'm not looking for bad things today. I'm not in that kind of a mood. I'm quite a happy, jolly mood. And this is not a happy, jolly reading for Harry and his as yet undisclosed commercial venture. Don't hold your breaths, people. You can put those piggy banks back down. I don't think you're going to have to break them open for this. But anyway, that's the reading. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.